Heywood will know what to do," she said, naming the august Carlisle butler. "As it was for Lady Jessica." Lady Jessica had been the Duchess's beloved only daughter. They had buried her just 7 years ago. Her Grace's voice still broke when she said the name. "Yes, ma'am." His pen scratched a few more notes. "I suppose His Grace has been told?" The Duchess's face spasmed. "No, I will do it later. He was not well this morning." "Of course," murmured the solicitor. Formidable though she was, the Duchess was also a mother who had just lost her youngest son, and now must tell her last surviving child that they would open the family crypt again to bury his brother. It was doubtful the conversation would be brief or easy. The Duke's mind was neither quick nor agile, and his understanding was always uncertain. But there was nothing he could do about that. Mr. Edwards hesitated, then put the pen back into the stand. "There is one more subject I must broach." "Yes, yes," she snapped, now glowering at the window. "I know." He waited, but when she said nothing more, he reluctantly went on. The matter was urgent, as the Duchess herself would tell him, were she not so grief-stricken. "I have taken the liberty of examining the records. It is always better to be excessively informed, I believe, although I am deeply sorry it has become necessary." "Are you?" The Duchess made a visible effort to gather herself. Mr. Edwards averted his eyes in case she required a moment of privacy. "Get on with it, then," she said crisply, a moment later. "Who is he?" Lord Stephen had been not merely the Duke's younger brother, he had also been his only heir. A terrible accident years ago had left the Duke with the mind of a child. He had never married, never had a son, and never would. Lord Stephen's death meant the dukedom must now pass to a distant cousin. It had been fiercely hoped by all at Carlisle Castle that Lord Stephen's marriage would yield an heir. Miss Calvert was not a very young woman, but she was by no means past the age of bearing a child, and there had been genuine affection between her and Lord Stephen. Now those hopes were dashed, which meant the heir presumptive was wandering about somewhere, in complete ignorance of the monumental inheritance about to befall him. Mr. Edwards drew a paper from his case. 30 years ago, the second Carlisle son, Lord William, had been killed in the American colonies, shortly before the Duke's accident. As the years passed and Lord Stephen did not marry, the succession had become precarious. Quietly and discreetly, Mr. Edwards had begun investigating 3 men against the grim possibility that this day would arrive. Even so, despite the urgent necessity, this must be done delicately. Edwards had been the Carlisle solicitor for over 25 years, long enough to know the family's secrets and stains. He chose to begin with the easiest point. "Captain Andrew St. James of His Majesty's Scots Guards. His grandfather was the younger brother of His Grace the 4th Duke." "Yes," she said, her expression unreadable at this mention of her late husband. "I remember. He'll be Adam's grandson. Is this young fellow anything like his grandfather?" Mr. Edwards cleared his throat. Lord Adam, by all accounts, had been both sensible and charming. That had not saved him from a vicious falling out with his older brother, the 4th Duke, and Lord Adam had left the family estates decades ago. "I've no idea, Your Grace. My reports are that Captain St. James is an honourable and respectable man." She harumphed. "Of what age? Is he married?" "About 30 years, ma'am, and he is not married, to the best of my knowledge." She sighed. It would be a military man. Her second son had gone into the British Army and never come back from it. Her opinion of the army was not high. After a moment she roused herself. "I suppose we shall be grateful that he's survived this long. That may mean he's very clever, or extremely stupid. I'm not sure which I prefer. Who else?" Edwards withdrew another sheet of paper. "Mr. Maximilian St. James."